Well, it looks like the camera's on the fritz again. I must have bought a bad SD card. I'll have to take it back this weekend when I get home. I'm not getting any updates since 2:45. Damn it. I can't have an unreliable camera. I already have an unreliable David Ray. Dang darn diddly. My mom still hasn't made it over there. She ended up going to the laundromat to pick up signs from the owner of the laundromat who's running for mayor. I had her go over there and pick me up some signs since I screwed up this weekend and wasn't home. I mean, I was home, but I was taking care of the goats, and I totally forgot to go to the laundromat and meet them to get signs for him running for mayor. And so I had my mom go today, and they hit it off so well that she's probably still there talking to them. I'm sorry. They were at the laundromat. Then my mom and Ron ended up going back to their place. So now they're at their house, hanging out with them at their house, which is cool. But I needed my mother to go do something for me. But I think she'll end up doing it. But, eventually. But yeah, my camera's acting up. So I don't know what's going on. I'm in the blind again. But it's good that my mom got to meet them and hit it off with them and is hanging out with them because she needs to network with productive and proactive people. So it'll help her be productive and proactive, which will help me be productive and proactive. I tried to do the same thing with David, when he first came down. I let him use my pickup truck. I financed him. I let him use all my equipment. And he basically just took advantage of me and abused his privileges. He ran around doing love offerings, offering his services to all these people for free, using my equipment, tearing my stuff up, and had no money to show for it. And basically, I ended up having to pay for everything. So I was supporting his ministry, if you will, which would have been fine if I was rich, but I didn't have the money to support his ministry. And our agreement was that I pay the bills while he does the work on the land. Because he had all this knowledge and he grew up on a farm, so it's like he knew what he was doing. He knew more of what he was doing than I did. We're both kind of city slickers, but he grew up on a farm. He knew goats and stuff. He came down with goats, geese, and chickens, and a whole bunch of farm stuff. And, basically because his family kicked him off the farm. Of course, I believed his side of the story. Not anymore, but I believed his side of the story. So anyway, long story short, he didn't do the work. He just all talk and little to no action. And, for 5 years he had my truck and ran it into the ground, and my equipment ran it into the ground. And I basically have nothing to show for it. He hardly fixed anything because the only money he had was the money I was paying him. And then I finally cut him off in 2018 when he basically just all out quit on me because he pretty much moved into Bill and Shirley's greenhouse and basically quit on me. I think he was trying to replace Jerry Diamond because Jerry ran off and got married or something, and then that didn't work out. So Jerry came back, and David basically took over Bill's greenhouse. Bill couldn't hardly grow any food in the greenhouse because David took it over. Was living in the whole greenhouse, 40-foot greenhouse. Had all of his crap in there, just like he does in my greenhouse. I mean, David did build it, or he did do most of the work in building it. I bought all the materials, and I knew he was going to move in. I already knew because past predicts future, right? So I knew it was going to happen. So I designed it with living quarters. Of course, he hasn't finished the living quarters, but he's living in it. Anyways, this thing ain't updating. So I don't know. Maybe I'm going to have to do that reformat thing again. I'll wait till sunset. If I don't get any updates by sunset, then I'll do that. But yeah, no updates since 2:45. It's driving me crazy. Crazy! But anyways, at least I got my mom watching my back now. She'll go check on the goats. She can't do much, like David can. David can handle them better than I can even. It's like pulling teeth to get him to do anything. It's driving me nuts. All right, I guess that's it. Bye. All right. I finally got an update. It looks like my mom never made it to the yard because the totes are still there. But, and David won't listen to me. He wants to be right. And then when I tell him I want him moved and he wants to argue with me, and then he says, "You're just trying to pick a fight." And maybe I am. I don't think I'm trying to pick a fight. It's just he's being obstinate. And he wants to do it his way when I told him to do it a different way. And he wants to just do the opposite of what I want him to do. It's not like he's paying the bills or he's actually being productive or anything. He wants to call the shots, but he doesn't want to pay any of the bills and he doesn't want to do any of the work. Although he did go walk the goats today, so I will give him credit for that. But nonetheless, I'll call him tomorrow because he's probably still mad at me, which I'm still mad at him. So, anyways, yeah, I gotta find his replacement because we're going nowhere fast. All right, bye.
A lot of that occurs on this side too, with all these people who have this savior complex. They're always the type of people who do nothing to save themselves. They're always the type of people who will dole out advice and never take any of their own advice. It's not just we're walking around all good, sweet, and wonderful people, and there's just these evil people trying to take us down. There's so much evil in this world because we allow it, we perpetuate it, and we are that evil. We, every evil, horrible thing we see happening in the world, we are all capable of on some level. There's a reason why the only people you hear screaming at you, the only people who get like really, really angry about you not wearing a mask in order to protect their health, they're always 100% of the time the least healthy people you've ever seen. They're always overweight, they drink a lot, they smoke, they don't exercise, they're sedentary. This is all projection. Everything you see is projection. And I think a lot of that occurs on this side too, with all these people who have this savior complex. They're always the type of people who do nothing to save themselves. They're always the type of people who will dole out advice and never take any of their own advice. It's not just we're walking around all good, sweet, and wonderful people, and there's just these evil people trying to take us down. There's so much evil in this world because we allow it, we perpetuate it, and we are that evil. We, every evil, horrible thing we see happening in the world, we are all capable of on some level.
Well, my mom basically blew me off yesterday. Basically, like David Ray blows me off all the time. I can't win. She never did do what I asked her to do. She said she was going to go down and check on the goats since I can't trust David to do it. And she didn't do it either. I also asked her to move those 2 totes near the hay bale because I asked David to move them and he only moved 1. And I asked her to go move the other 2 and she didn't do that. She just went back to Kansas City and blew me off. So I definitely need a business partner I can rely on. My mom, she's somewhat reliable, more so than David Ray, but I don't know. I need a new business partner. So anyhow, I just need somebody to keep an eye on things while I'm gone and make sure things get done while I'm gone, not just blow me off. And not cost me money. But on a good note, I haven't seen any goats on the hay bale today. So that's a good thing. But when I get home, today's Wednesday. I'll be home in 2 days. Basically Friday. And I'll just have to take care of it myself. I just don't want the goats on top of the hay bale so they don't soil the hay and then they won't eat it. It's kind of a waste to have hay if they're gonna poop and pee all over it and not eat it. I mean, it will make fertilizer, when it goes back to the earth, which is a good thing. But, I'd like to waste as little as possible. I mean, none of it really goes to waste, but, that's a $50 hay bale. And I like to utilize as much of it as I can and then let the rest go to fertilizer. But anyhow, I got a couple other things I'm going to do when I get home. And, one thing I got to do is I got to go buy hoof clippers, scissors, shears. I don't know what they're called. I guess they're called clippers, like nail clippers. Because 10 years we've had these goats. David's never trimmed their hooves. And I'm sure they need trimming. I didn't even know we needed to trim the hooves until I started following goat people on YouTube. And then I found out that we're supposed to trim our goats' hooves. David grew up with these animals, had them most of his life. He claims to know more. Well, he does know more about goats than I do, but he seems to act like he knows everything. But yet, he didn't know that, or he just chose not to do it, one of the two. So I need to do it when I get home. We do have somewhat of a rocky environment, so their hose may not be all that bad, but it's not rocky enough. There was, I think it was 20 acres, no, 40 acres that we were looking at. And that son of a gun was rocky as hell. And that would have been perfect for goats. Then they definitely would have kept their hooves trimmed if they didn't break their ankles. I'm kidding. Goats wouldn't do that because they're mountain goats. You know, that's what they do. This son of a gun, it was rocky. As I come out, you know, about the only thing you could use it for was raising goats. Because you couldn't hardly do anything else with it. So I was thinking about it. It was only $4,000 an acre, but I haven't got my place paid off yet. So anyway, I probably should have bought it, but oh well. Somebody else got it, and I ended up meeting them the other day and gave them a business card, and they're goat people too. So who knows? I might be doing business with them in the near future. So the guy is from Germany, and I forget where the lady's from. I think she's American, but they lived in Canada for a while, and they lived down in Baton Rouge for a little while, and who knows where else. But anyway, so all looks good on the home front so far. David still hasn't noticed the camera yet, which is good, I guess. I mean, I don't care either way. My mom was like, I wonder how long it'll take him to notice the camera. I figured he'd notice it by now, but I guess he hasn't. But that's okay. So, oh, let me go back. I do like this camera overall. Oh, it just dropped another battery notch. Oh, but I did get my package in the mail today, so I'll have my solar panels when I get home. Because, yeah, the way it looks is it's going to run down the batteries basically in 2 weeks' time or less. So, unfortunately, the device is not designed for the solar panel to charge the batteries that are in the camera. And they don't advise rechargeable batteries for whatever reason. They wanted me to use Energizer Max, or I think lithium batteries. Let me go to my notes. Trail cams. Dun, 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 dun. Yeah, lithium or regular Energizer Max batteries. Now, if you've used a rechargeable battery and you recommend a certain rechargeable battery for this, let me know. Because batteries are expensive. So, also, this is pretty cool. Oh, there's highway robbery. Hang on. Put the phone down. I gotta mark the cop in the GPS. Because I got Google Maps. There he is. I got truck GPS and I run Google Maps just so I know where the cops are, but nobody else notified me of the cops, so I had to do it. Anyhow, so this thing is freaking awesome. I'm going to use this for my goats Because the problem with the feeder that I have now, I hang it from a tree. I have to basically have a ladder and go up into the tree, which I got the camera in the same tree, but anyhow. So that works. I just use the ladder to get partly up the tree, and then I climb the rest of the way. But this, and I primarily want to give them the feeder for, okay, from what I understand, see, David tells me, oh, you're not supposed to give goats grain, blah, 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 it's not good for them. And I understand you don't want them to be grain fed, you want them to be grass fed. That's better for them. But I also understand that giving them grain helps them produce better milk or more milk or something like that. Like I said, I've been following people on YouTube and I've been learning because I've learned that I can't rely on everything David says. Because, yeah, anyways, I won't go there. So, I hung the feeder. It's a 5-gallon feeder. I hung it too low, and the Kikos were just tall enough to get up on the tree and lick the feeder till it was dry. And the little spinner thing here, they just sit there and lick it, and it spins, and they licked it dry. So I was like, crap. And David didn't catch it. I had to figure it out for myself. But David doesn't monitor them. He barely does anything. But anyways, that's another subject. So I thought about getting this and put it in the goat yard, mostly for the mothers. And then so the spinner will go off when I tell it to go off. And then the feed will drop down into these corridors. I think it's only 3 sections. And then I can eat out of the whatchamacallits. Yeah, 3. And I also thought about doing that for my cats. Then I could just program how much food I want them to have every day, and then it'll just automatically feed them, and then I don't have to worry about somebody else going in and doing it for me. I just do it myself, because that's what I had to do with the chickens. I mean, I couldn't count on David to do it. I bought an automatic feeder, a small, that 5-gallon one I was just talking about for the chicken coop. And I set it to go off in the evenings, so I'd bring all the chickens home. And that worked great, but I couldn't rely on David to refill it. So at the end of the week, every week, it was empty when I came home. And I don't know how long it was empty, but it was empty, right? And it'd be one thing if it was empty once in a while. It was empty almost every single time I came home. And so that's why I got an upgraded version. And I got a good deal on it. I paid $90 for it at Walmart. And it's a big one, but it just has the spinner on it. So, and I actually like this spinner better. It takes like AAA batteries. And it lasts a long time. But the one I got at Walmart takes a bigger battery. But it probably lasts a long time too, so either way. I gotta change out the clips on it. Right now it's just got alligator clips, and I wanted to have the female clips to clip onto the male part of the battery thingy. And then I'll probably end up wiring it up to the solar panels when I get the solar panels on the chicken coop, so it stays charged all the time. But that's down the road. Anyhow, but who knows? I could probably put something. Well, no, I'll basically put this on like in the cat house and in the goat yard, and like I said, mostly for the females. And eventually, once I get enough goat yards, I'll have a yard just for the mothers. But right now I only have 2 goat yards because I can't get anything done. I can't rely on anybody to get anything done. So I got a new guy that I'm going to hire to do my fencing. And it'll be done, in a timely fashion. So anyhow, that's that. I just wanted to close out this video. I got several pieces I got to clip together. But, yeah. All right. Party on.